ask me questions, Pooja.
Exactly. Lovely to see you. Happy New Year. So what's your non-New Year resolution for 2021? A non-New Year resolution.
I don't have resolutions. That's my non-resolution, is that I don't have any resolutions. I don't make resolutions. I stopped it a long time ago because I think that people do this whole new year, new you thing. And I'm just like, that's kind of mean to yourself, because you're just like, I suck so much that I need a new version. So I don't make any resolutions. I make goals. I don't make resolutions.
So what's your New Year goal?
I have a bunch of them. I have they're divided. They're divided into physical. Do you really want to know this? It's intense. It's intense.
Maybe it just might inspire me who has no goals.
Okay, I'll tell you very quickly. Okay, so there's physical, spiritual, intellectual, personal, and financial.
Good. And then talking about professional, that seems to be going well. You have Tandav happening.
Which is why I didn't say professional goals, because I'm there, baby. I'm there.
Totally there. And even before the first season is out, I anticipate a season 2 of Tandav, because the trailer is so intriguing. And we've just seen little peeks of you all. Yeah. So I liked your character, Aisha Pratap Singh.
Yes.
So when it came to you, she is driven, she's ambitious, she's independent. She's the woman of today. Did you resonate with her personally at any level? Or were there aspects that you were like, I can't wrap my head around this?
It's the second, because when she came to me, she was on 2 sheets of paper and she was an audition.
Okay.
And the scene, which you will see in the show, is a scene where she is trying to figure out with Samar how to make the best of a situation, which is pretty much a gist of who Aisha is in Samar's life. She just wants to make everything right for him, right? She's the love of his life. She's the partner in crime. She's the woman behind the man. And she's fiercely loyal. And it was difficult for me to not relate, but identify with her, because she's quite reserved. She's very reserved, actually. She's very reserved. She's extremely poised. She's not excitable. All the things that I am not. I can be poised, but I'm very animated. You know me. I'm really animated. I'm quite loud. I'm very talkative. And I tend to blurt out my ideas rather than keeping them to myself. And I had to step into the shoes of a married woman, which I'm not. Yeah. So it's, and somebody who's so fiercely loyal, I'm quite individualistic. Whereas with Aisha, I get the feeling that she is her own person, but she's very much tied into what Samar wants. And that's her larger picture. Her larger picture is not me, it's us, So that's who Aisha is, really.
So, Tandav looks really interesting. It's a high-octane political drama. What an ensemble cast. Shot just like any blockbuster. So it's like you've done 9 mini feature films. So what's it like for an actor, for someone who's done feature films, has done series as well? What's the experience like? And do you find this actually more creatively gratifying? Because, in films, what happens in 2.5 hours, it's just that one character and the others just come and go. But here, everyone has an arc, and you have so much more to do.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say more gratifying, because I'm generally somebody who's instinctively filled with gratitude just to work. I'm just happy to be on a set, right? But what I will say is that it definitely, as an actor, gives you more. It gives you more time. It just gives you more time. It gives you more time to explore your character, to show your character, to show moods, vulnerabilities, strengths. There's a lot more intricacies that you can show on web, because it's just a longer format that is short, like you said, with the grandeur of a full feature-length film, each episode. So it's just, in that sense, it's am I looking for the word gratifying? Maybe I am, actually. Maybe it is more gratifying. because you kind of like, because you put in so much work, you put in so much
Yeah.
work into all your characters, you develop them, you want them to, you want to show them off, you want them to shine, you want people to take them away after they're done watching the show. And yeah, maybe it is more gratifying because there is maybe more time for you to make an impression on someone.
Yeah. And also, I mean, having seen your career, also like you've been a VJ, you've been an actor, you've been a model, and also you've done various roles. I mean, there was an Angry Indian Goddesses, and now you've seen you in this, you've seen you in other shows as well. Do you also feel that the offers are changing? Because initially what happens is tend to stereotype actors, block them. Do you also see there is a change in the kind of offers also coming to you now?
And I'm going to go back to what I was saying about Ali.
Yeah.
I was excited to work with him because he's Ali Abbas Zaffar.
Huh.
But I was excited to work with him because I finally found a director who saw me as somebody else, who saw me as something more than just everything that I have played before. And yes, so to answer your question, it has changed. This Tandav is proof of the fact that I have been given an opportunity to play something completely different, as compared, and to be seen, even just costume and physically, as something else than I've ever been seen before. And I think that is it's compounded by the fact that one has done so much of work. One has played so many different kinds of roles. I've done comedy, I've done drama, I've done horror, I've done mystery. I've really sort of explored everything. But I think that physically, as a look, the Miss India, the model tag really sticks with you. But this is the first time that I'm not that. I'm something a little bit, not a little, a lot more than just that.
Oh, lovely.
And that's nice. It's nice. It's a good feeling. I got to do that with Angry Indian Goddesses as well, but that character was a lot like me. Aisha in Tandav is not like me. She's not like me at all.
And that's what makes an actor push his or her own boundaries.
Yeah.
And such a eclectic cast, yeah. From Saif, you've got Dimple, you've got Sunil, Zishan, there is you, there is, So, I mean, which was one person whose craft that you were most impressed with? Because actors observe other actors and you were like, hey, I can't take my eyes off this particular person and his or her craft. Who was that one person on set?
So I will add a question into your question.
Okay.
So I'll tell you two things. One is, I think the person that the people that I sort of admired the most would probably be Tigmanshu sir and Saif. So both of them, right? Because with Tigmanshu, there's just gravitas to everything he says. Everything. He could be saying one word and there's just like so much personality in it, right? It's loaded with that. With Saif, I was very, very, I've never done a monologue in anything before, and Saif has a lot of monologues and a lot of speeches, and it's a lot to be a good orator. And it's one thing to be reading your own speech, but it's a whole different thing to be reading a speech as somebody else, right? So that was just to watch with Saif was just amazing. And then the thing that I wanted to tell you was, if there was one other person who I would have loved to have played, that would be Gurpal, Sunil, basically. I would have.
Ali says he did Tandav with Gurpal because he would never be serious off camera.
I'm telling you, the best time of my life, thanks to that man. Like really, because I firstly, right, when he came to the reading, of course I know it's Sunil Grover, I know what he's done, etc., etc. But then when he showed up on set, I had to do a double take. I'm like, Grover? What the hell happened?
Oh, wow.
And then he played his lines, and the contrast between the way he's perceived and what he's done and what he's done with Gurpal is just amazing. It's just amazing. So
awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
And also there's another first in Tandav in the sense it's a large-scale political saga which we'll see unfold in a series. Usually we see movies 2.5 hours done, It's like how we say abroad, American TV, you see a House of Cards and, the presidential can, all that happening. Are you someone who really likes political dramas? And if there was a person you would really want to play, let's manifest this for you this year. Who would be that one character in history that you would really want to play?
Can I be really arrogant and say I'm playing her already?
Wow.
And I believe that our show will make history. Like I really believe that. I'm not just saying it to sound cool.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
really believe that Tandav has the capacity to be one of those long-running shows where people get attached to this, to that world. They're just going to get attached to it.
And we do a House of Cards, our own card, Madam President, huh?
Sure, they're going to be.
It's now a reality now. It's now a reality.
It is. So it's going to become one of those things. They're going to be like, what's happening next in the world of Tandav? That's going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When have you had a Tandav-like moment in life?
When I'm hungry.
I love it. I love it.
As just, and everybody knows this on set as well. They're like, Mayday, Sarah's hungry, guys. We need to stop shooting right now. Because suddenly when I'm on camera, Ali will be like, your eyes are looking really tired. I'm like, yes, because I'm hungry. Okay. It's just like, leave me alone. But yeah, that's when I have my Tandav moments. I'm very, very I don't do destruction. I really don't. It's not my thing. Okay. Like I'm very happy-go-lucky, and I'm just like, to each their own. And
but Tandav can be destructive. It also can be a joyous dance, yeah, when you don't give a damn.
Shivji dances to destroy, to then create, right?
Create, yes.
That's the whole the ideology behind it. So yeah, it can be both. So
awesome. It's been lovely chatting with you. And before you go, I want to ask you, since sustainability is the word these days, what if you could give us a few tips on sustainable fashion?
Sustainable fashion. That's a tough one because I'm trying to incorporate that in my life right now, and I'm finding my own my feet with it. Okay. I think the best thing to do is I'm not an ardent shopper. I do believe in recycling clothes. I have no problem with wearing a gown that I've worn on the red carpet before, which I will wear again. I have zero problem, like zero.
Yeah.
And I believe in, I think one of the easiest things to do is to store clothes away well, because they're going to come back into fashion again. Like everything, fashion just repeats itself. This is more an ideology rather than an actual thing to do, but my ideology is no fashion is seasonal. So, you have people who are like, oh, that's a winter outfit. Oh, that's a summer outfit. So what lands up happening is that you'll end up shopping for a summer wardrobe and a winter wardrobe. I'm not talking about like you in Delhi where you have to wear thicker and thinner clothes. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about where it should be trans-seasonal. Like you can't be like, I'll only wear this in summer and I'll only wear this in winter, because that means you need to buy that much more clothes. So shop less, store clothes well, and don't be bothered about what's in fashion or what's in season. Just wear what makes you feel good. So yeah.
And lastly, before we go, as you said, shop local, keyword. And before we go, as you said, fashion repeats itself. Similarly, history repeats itself. So what have been the learnings from the 10 months that we've all globally spent together? What is your takeaway, and how do we, come into the new year?
Family is really important, because I spent time in a one-bedroom house with my mother and my sister, and our relationship it could have gone the other way. It really could have. And there were arguments, but we are the closest today, touch wood, mashallah, than we have ever been before.
Lovely.
And it gives me great joy, and it's like my grounding to have that,
Awesome.
So that's one thing. Two is we should all just be grateful to be alive. Literally just be like, I'm alive. Like that should be enough for you, right? Just to be like
that song, I'm alive.
Do everything else, you're alive, right? Hello, you could have died. Like that's what we're dealing with this year, right? There was alive and there was dead. So thank your body. Thank the government for doing a fantastic job, in my opinion. I was very impressed because I took one flight towards the end of the lockdown. Just as the lockdown had been lifted, and I took it to Delhi, and I was very impressed with the amount of preparations that were happening, especially in the Mumbai airport. Yeah, so I think that just gratitude, and that means not taking things for granted, and family. Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyways, lovely chatting with you, and I hope we can meet in person soon. Both ho gaya virtual, but all the very best for Tandav. Looking forward to season 2, and let's see what Aisha Pratap Singh does.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the very best.
Bye, love.
Bye. Bye.